Well, tomorrow is Veterans Day. It's a special day to honor military veterans all across the United States Armed Forces. And Dr. Mark Siegel spotlighting one Marine corporal's story of turning to faith after struggling in a major way with PTSD in his upcoming book called The Miracles Among Us, How God's Grace Plays a Role in Healing Us. It's set to come out on November 18th. That's next Tuesday. You can pre-order it now. And Dr. Siegel introduced us to that Marine on Fox and Friends Weekend back in 2017.
Being in Iraq, there are a lot of things that take place that are difficult to heal. Eventually, I was in the bedroom of my college apartment. I drank every bottle of alcohol in the house and decided to put a shotgun barrel in my mouth because I had just numbed myself instead of trying to deal with things, and I wanted to feel something again. Post-traumatic growth is that as a result of these traumatic experiences, you can also learn to be more affectionate in relationships, closer to God, and overachieving others.
And never giving up as well, right?
Exactly, and never giving up.
And joining us now is Fox News senior medical analyst, Dr. Mark Siegel. Dr. Siegel, in your book called The Miracles Among Us, you write about his story, Corporal Smith's story. Faith becomes very important to him again after losing touch with it in Iraq. Every day he has one simple prayer: God, I am so sorry. Please help me be a good man. Smith says that this prayer leads to his becoming the best version of himself that he can be. So how is he doing now, and what led him to this miracle? He was about to shoot himself, to kill himself.
He's doing great now. He's in Norway. He's happily married with 4 children and a very successful business. What happened in Iraq in 2004 was that he went to a building and was trying to secure it. He's a Marine corporal, and we're honoring the Marines today, 250 years. Yes. And he didn't have his night vision on his rifle. And he saw the building was being approached, and he thought it was the enemy. And he shot, unfortunately, a friend of his in the foot who recovered, thank God. But it stayed with Smith for years, and he got more and more depressed and post-traumatic stress. Then he met a guy named Clay in Los Angeles who had a similar situation, and Clay taught him about the outreach that we just heard about reaching out to other vets, about mountain biking, about being part of Team Rubicon, about being part of the VA and all of these programs. Clay, unfortunately, took his own life. But the next year, when Smith, as he said here, was thinking about it, he had drunk every bit of alcohol he could find. He had a gun. He was putting a gun in his mouth. Suddenly he gets a visitation from Clay. God sent Clay's ghost to Dave Smith. He saw him, and it saved him. That was the miracle, and that miracle was straight from God, and he's been praying for forgiveness ever since then. He's such a great human being. And going on the bike ride, the mountain bike ride with me and President Bush, he went twice, really helped him. With the recovery.
I remember you were doing that year after year with President Bush, and President Bush addressed this issue, PTSD, when our soldiers come back and they've seen the worst of the worst. This is an interview you had with George Bush.
When you seek help, you and I can be, we can be sympathetic, but we can't possibly relate to what it's like to see a friend killed in combat. And yet there are others who can. And here in this group, people have progressed from severe depression, a severe case of PTS, to moderate case, in some case, a light case of it, and they can share with their pal what it took. And so it's logical, and it works. Helping vets transition from military life to civilian life is going to be a huge contribution to the country.
And in your book, The Miracles Among Us, everyone has a story of a miracle. So what is your advice after interviewing so many different people for your book? If someone's in a really bad place, if a soldier's watching as we approach Veterans Day, if they're in that really dark, deep hole, how do they get out?
The first thing is what President Bush says there, former President Bush, which is you may not even know you have the problem. We say 10% of vets have post-traumatic stress disorder. It's way more than that, because it could just be you're not sleeping well at night. Could be you're not relating well. Could be that you're not learning new tools to become successful in the civilian world. All of this needs to be looked at, and you have to come forward, and you can't be embarrassed about it. And then you have to pray to God for forgiveness and God for guidance. When you decide that there's a greater force that will guide you, it takes a lot of pressure off of you, and that's what you and I both believe.
Yeah, and once you see a miracle once in your life, you know that's how God works, and it gives you momentum as you're going through tough times later on in life. Look how God treated me when I was going through that hard time. I know he'll do it again. He'll save me again.
And that's what Smith thinks,
Yeah.
too. That's what Corporal Smith thinks, and that's what I think as well. And
Dr.
you-
Siegel, we're so excited for your book to come out next Tuesday. You can read all about that story and more by pre-ordering Dr. Siegel's book, The Miracles Among Us, foxbooks.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.